I'm going. I didn't know how to ride a bike, nor did I have anyone to teach me how. My mom was far away but close. My dad was close but far. My grandmother was telling my sister off or making lunch, and my brother was probably somewhere in the city with his friends. So I decided to learn on my own. I only need a bike because I already had the desire, and everyone knows that if you have the desire, you can do anything. Or at least that's what my grandma used to say, and my mother and my aunts and the neighbor down the block who told her children that you have to go for it because behind you scared. That's what the song said. As I didn't have a bike yet, I used to practice on the patio of the house, next to the TV, put my back on the cold ceramic tiles while resting my lunch, and the TV would talk about peas and bones, and I would keep pedaling. I remember that the older children used to do that movement, that kind of infinity rhythm dance, drawing circle with their feet, so I decided to repeat it with my imaginary bicycle. Finally, my grandmother bought me a bicycle that she paid for with the money that my mom sent. They bought it for me in a shop in a city center. It looked like a distinct bicycle shop or a recycling bicycle shop. The difference is that in my country people don't recycle bicycles, but rather they steal them and resell them again. It's a very profitable business. It felt great to have a bike, even without being able to ride it, just to sit there, next to the sun, right next to the shadow. It shone brightly, as if it's calling me to ride it. The bad thing is that I was very trained in imaginary infiniter cycles. I needed more tactility to feel the cheap plastic on my shoes, the cumbersome stiffness of the bike pedals that blended with my feet until they mysteriously came off and giving me a reason to never touch that shit ever again. No, but it was still great. I wish I could feel that first time again. The feeling of knowing that you will experience something new. Even if my comes hard and I had blood on my jeans, it was worth the nagging from my grandmother. And go back to feel the responsibility with pleasure. To know that you're doing nothing for others, just for you, not for anyone else. I mean, to satisfy those who talk on TV, or family, or friends, fashions. No, just for you. Now, it's a bit more difficult to feel where you are from, what you are, and what you do. There are too many serious things to attend to, too many spaces to fit into, too much desires to fit into those spaces. There was a lot to lose, but also a lot to gain. If I fell too hard, I ran the risk of getting a psychological trauma and never riding a two-wheeled machine again. Having my bike stolen, getting a flat tire, many things could go wrong. But if it went well, I would be independent of the slowness of walking, and I will gain speed in the running task. I will be closer to the big kids. Maybe they will give me a good nickname, and they will stop calling me the guy or Cheeky. Maybe later they will call me Brada or the Precious, or maybe both. I hate being called the guy on the corner. In the end, I took the plunge. I had everything: the bike, the shoes well tied, the desired fix on the goal. Everything was ready. I took the bike and I went out to the park. I also took the training wheels. There was always a plan Z. The idea was to have fun. When I start, I knew that the important thing was to never stop, no matter what. Whether they were people in front of me or ants or a wall, nothing had to stop me. Otherwise, I would fall. That's when I concluded that was the only way to stay on the bike. So that's what I tried. I started slowly. The first pedal I gave was with the decision, but the second one was a bit weaker and lacked it. Then the bike started to shake, and I compensate by turning the handlebars from side to side. But it made it worse, and at the end, I fell sideways. It wasn't bad. I rode a few meters, and that made me realize many things. The first one was the imaginary infinite cycles were good for something, and the second one was that I had to go with more decision. That it's not the first pedal that is important, but it's the second and the third. And from then on, it was all about repeating the same process. Almost without realizing it, the bike synchronized with me. We were both on the same side, at the same time. We were owning our world in action. It was magical. It was the first time we were doing something new. It felt colder in my face, like when you go in taxi and you stick your face out of the window, but then it's fast and you go alone. I don't know how, but I was able to feel my hands, my bum, my feet at the same time. I was being aware of many parts of my body at the same time. And I thought I was doing something incredible, something that others should know about. I looked around and no one saw me, no one clapped, no one cheered me on. Everyone was doing their own thing in their world. It made me indignant that I couldn't experience what I was experiencing. Then I started to say directly to the other boys, "Look, I can ride a bike now." I went to the corner, but they didn't seem so enthusiastic. They asked me to show them, and I went to the corner. Maybe they were already aware of that feeling, because it didn't seem impressive to them. They were already used to it, as the special thing for them now was to go far away, to other neighborhoods, to do tricks, to go faster, to ride colleagues in the back or in the front, to put a plastic cap on the rim to make it sound like a motorbike. I wasn't ready for that yet.